Hi, ePublishing students. Welcome to the class. I hope you're ready for an exciting semester of learning about how to create ebooks, interactive newsletters, and all kinds of fun stuff that you probably didn't know you can do, but you can. And I am your professor, Monica Alters. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be with you in person in the lab or even meeting in person as complications due to my pregnancy. I think when you watch this video, I'm almost a few days away from being 8 months, which have pretty much forced me to be on a bed rest for the remainder of the pregnancy. And it's expected that my baby girl, yep, it's a girl, will come early. But I'll leave you in a very capable hands of Francis Ive and Ken Lee, and they'll be there to guide you and help you in person. You will also have different videos you will watch in the lab, as well as they will go through instructions with you. So we're going to make it as pleasant experience for you as possible. So let us get started on the really boring things, I'm sorry, the syllabus, so you know what's going to be expected of you. And be ready to be bringing your headphones to the lab, each lab, as you're going to need them for some video tutorials. You can get the latest copy of the syllabus from Blackboard. And again, make sure you're in the right class. DIGM 3356 ePublishing. Already mentioned I'm your professor. And obviously I do have an office, but I won't be able to meet with you as can be out of bed. I am now, but anyway. Your lab instructor will be Professor Francis Ive. Here's his contact information. And maybe he will give you other contacts as well. Any meetings that you need to meet in regards to lab assignments in person, you can meet with him. Also, our support person, the lab manager, which I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know, will be Mr. Kenley and his contact. Now, this class has one online lecture and it has two labs. Because the class is full, you can only come to the lab that you registered. And it's important you come to every lab because there'll be things that you're going to have to do in the lab and start in the lab and finish later at home. If you miss the lab, it will be really hard to keep up with the class. The prerequisite is a grade of C or better in 1357 and 3351. Make sure you pass those classes. If not, the prerequisite check will go through, and if you get dropped, you will not get reimbursed for this class. Okay. And let me tell you a little bit about the class. And this class really focuses on designing for tablet and mobile device delivery, different technologies for e-media workflow. We'll look a little bit of XML, specifically metadata for e-publishing, digital assets management, personalized email blasts, and you can read all this. Pretty much redundant here. So let's skip it. And let's look at what you will do when you finish this class. This is what's important, right? Important to put on your resume, things you mentioned to your employer. So you'll be able to plan, create, and evaluate various electronic publications for different devices. Our focus will be on iPad or iPhone. That's because we do have iPads, about 30 of them, that you can check out and use during lab. And I'll be checking, and Francis or Ken or anybody who's grading you will be checking those as well, and you'll work on it. You'll create interactive digital publications, including ebooks, e-newsletters, possibly magazines, anything that has an E in front of it. It means electronic, interactive, even catalogs, portfolios, all kinds of things that you bring interactivity into it. You will design personalized email campaigns for desktop and mobile delivery. You will differentiate between traditional and media workflows. You'll plan a workflow for publishing using XML Circle, which you're going to start today. Hopefully everything goes well. And you will utilize various digital media publishing formats as EPUB, iBooks, PDF, and XML. Know the differences between content management, digital assets management, rights management, and create XML-based metadata files for your specific eMedia project standards and specifications. Let's continue on. Now, you really will not have textbooks. I know I put a textbook in here, but it's free. Guess what? It's free. It's a resource that you can use when you reach creation of ebooks using iBooks Author, and You don't have to pay for it. So that's the only thing you're going to need that to help you. Now, required tools, you will need headphones. You will need to bring headphones to every lab meeting because you may have combination of video tutorials to watch or listen to your instructor, so on. So make sure you have your headphones. You also need a mobile device and a tablet, so you can check your published work on a device. We will be using iPad minis in the lab. We have 30 of them you can check out, and you need to do it ahead of time. Now, if you come to the lab, you can check them out for the lab, fine. But if you need to take them home, there's some restrictions when it comes to checking them out, and you have to do it ahead. And Ken Lee can give you more information about this. I wish we had, could test on a variety of tablets, but that's what we have. You also need a portable drive for backing up your work, but do not work directly from it. I have noticed in the past that sometimes when you work directly from the drive, it's not linking the files correctly. For publishing, you really have to have a local folder, but once you finish with that, you can always move it to a drive and back, and it's just good to have extra copy of it. Now, because of the nature of ePublishing, you're dealing with higher res images, not just 72 like for web, because the displays can vary from 200, 300 even pixel per inch PPI. So I give you a list of free high-res images, so they're not copyrighted. You may have your own list as well. Just have to let us know. So you can use those as well. The assignments, sometimes you will be given you images to use. Now, any important information, here's the link. You can read through this about UH academic policy, calendar, anything right here. Now, follow us on Facebook. Yes, if you haven't. I know some of you like Facebook, it's so old school. But we provide a lot of good information here for scholarships, for jobs, internships, and so on. So just follow us here. I can click on it, see if it pulls up. Yep, there it is. That's us. Now, if your best work, we really want you to brag about yourself and display it. You can show it under the student showcase, and you can go to student showcase, submit your work. You can explore other work and let your best project shine. Also will be very useful when it comes to RedFest, because we had students win last year, and I'm always excited when you win things and get trophies and certificates and all that good stuff. Course credit, you've probably seen this many times, and so U of H has a policy that you're supposed to spend 3 hours per each credit hour. We have 3 hours, so 3 times 3 is 9, and you spend 3 hours in the lab. That means at least 6 hours outside. Don't forget, there is online lecture, which I'm going to be monitoring and administering and giving you things in there. So review that. You need to spend time on it. So don't, make the time you need to make this class successful for you. Now, obviously, we like to hear from you, but we do get a lot of emails, right? So we'd like you to follow a specific format for the email. For example, for this class, you can put DIGM 3556. Make sure you mention which lab you are in. So for example, here's Monday 1 to 4, your name, subject, and then you can, write an email inside letting us know what's going on. And if you don't have correct subject line, your email may not be even seen. Trust me, I get tons of email. Thank you, Dr. Wade. But do not email your assignments. They need to go through the Blackboard system. This is just make sure things don't get lost. The grades are calculated there, and it's just with so many instructors and help and so on, things can get lost. Plus, email cannot accumulate sizes that you're going to send or file formats, so don't do it. Now, also be patient with us, specifically me. Since I'm on my bed rest, I don't know when things may arise when I have to go to my doctor or hospital. I was just in a hospital just a few days ago, and I'm just being on the watch right now. So FYI, don't freak out. We have lives too. So in general, if everything is going well, give us at least 24 hours to answer your emails. Obviously on the weekends when you need more time. And online learning modules, I am working diligently to have those really ahead of time. I posted here, at least check it Saturday before your lab, but you will definitely have them. I would say, like, if there's something happens that you don't see it, let us know a week before. So you have a week or so to prepare, because we want you to look at them before you come to class. That way your lab instruction will go smoother and you won't have to take as much homework home. Does that sound good? Yep. So watch things ahead of time and you'll be ready with questions. Now, if we notice you're struggling a lot in the lab and you're not watching those videos or reading the materials, it will affect your grade. And I don't want you to go through that. Okay. Now, grading. You will have, when it comes to grading, there'll be attendance grade, 10%. 2 exams, midterm and final, both are 5 each, so 10% total. It's not major, but still. Literature review is 10%. I will discuss all those in a minute. Lab assignments at 30%. Book Project 1, ebook, and Project 2, ePublishing are both 20%. Now, letter grades, we have decided to standardize, we meaning the digital media faculty, so you probably see more of the same grading across. Attendance, participation, the nature of this class is that you really have to come to the lab and work on things. There'll be things required setup and admins, and especially starting with the first lab. If you're not there, you won't be able to set up and start. And hopefully you can catch up, but it will be really hard. So make sure you come, and you come on time, come prepared. Well, at least come, if you're not even prepared, just come anyway. We want you there. But come on time, because we want to start early, on time. And this is 1. I mean, it's not like it's 7 in the morning or 8. Okay, you can do it. Because it will affect your grade. And I just want you to pass and do well. Actually, not only pass, I want you to do well. So obviously a show will go on if you're not there, right? Exams, I mentioned there'll be 2. They'll be online, Blackboard. And I think did not want to move here. Thank you very much for being in the wing. But the schedule dates are posted on the last page in the schedule, or the dates of the exams, and you'll be notified on Blackboard as well. Do not use Chrome any portion of the course. I should say Safari as well. There are some issues with it, especially when it comes to exams. Oh yeah, don't worry about quizzes. I say not to give you any quizzes. Yes, hooray, no quizzes. But exams, paper submissions, so we will have no sympathy if you do use one of those browsers, especially Chrome, and stuff happens because we warned you. That's right, we did. Okay. Now, one of the main things we do when it comes to the class or annual classes is writing, because writing matters. And in this class, you will write a literature review. If you have wrote literature review in every class, could happen, you can just revise it and submit it here. We will not, share grades with each other professors, and we're gonna regrade it ourselves. This is specifically if you are the DIGM major. Okay, and this goes with your research, and it's continuation of your research, kind of looking at what other people say about what you're writing about your problem statement. Okay, if you are not the digital media major, then you need to think about a general topic to write on this paper. Okay, and detailed information about the literature review is provided on Blackboard. Just generally, I'm going to tell you the paper length will be 2 to 3 pages. Has to be style APA or the formatting APA. Make sure you have 5 credible sources. It doesn't matter if you are major, minor. You still have to follow the page number, sources, and the due date is listed in the schedule. And you can always talk with Francis as well about it, because he'll be the one, or Professor Ive, he'll be the one grading it. Lab assignments, you will have plenty of lab assignments. Some of them will span over 2 weeks, and they'll be like A and B, and so just make sure you do them. And unless otherwise specified, they'll be due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. on Blackboard after they're assigned. Again, do not email your assignments, will not accept it. Projects, 2 projects. One will be your ebook project, where you will develop 2 ebooks. One will be more like a text-heavy novel of your choice and free one. I mean, if you write novel, great, you can publish your own. And this is what you see a lot on Kindles and different e-readers. That's what you're going to do. You're going to know how to format it that way. And then the second one will be the interactive book, which will have more images, less text, and you can choose whichever format, even iBooks format or EPUB fixed layout. And both books will need to have an email campaign to promote them. Okay? Again, there will be more instructions given to you later. The second project will be publication, and this is really where you can decide based on what you have learned in the class what you would like to design, what kind of. Obviously, don't do the same ebook because no double dipping, but it could be an interactive newsletter, a digital e-magazine, catalog, brochure, even could be a portfolio, interactive portfolio. It really will depend on which program you want to use and how you want to do it, and also the requirements, which will be given later, so you can make sure you have enough pages and interactivity done in it. So yeah, that would be a fun one, I think. Now, work submission, you will submit everything on Blackboard. Now keep in mind that Blackboard, and I think I should add that in here, I feel like I'm going to edit. Blackboard has a limit of file sizes, and if it's above like 10-15 megabytes, and I have 44 of you in the class, it will not work. It will crash. I had students who submitted even 50 megabytes and we couldn't open it, and then Blackboard crashes. So if your projects will be bigger than 10 megabytes, Francis has to tell you how to submit it differently, maybe with his Dropbox or something. But I think the assignments you should be okay to submit on Blackboard. And he can always check and make sure that the file size is big enough. But it's your responsibility to make sure you submit everything correctly. Late assignments. Well, guess what? Late work is yesterday's news. It's like being on a job. If you don't meet a deadline, company gets penalized, or if you don't meet deadline a few times, you get fired, right? So we do not accept late work. So if it's not done within 10 minutes of submission, of the due date, time, whatever it is, it will not be graded. Now, if you miss the class or lab, if there's something due in the lab and you miss it, obviously it will be late. If it's due when you've gone somewhere, it's late. And what happens is late? Not graded. So do not, again, email your work. Mentioned that many times. It's important. Now, guess who's in charge of the lab? It's Mr. Kenley. That's right. So you need to listen to his rules because he is in charge. Keep your area clean. No food or drinks will be allowed in the lab unless, he lets you have a closed container. Keep it nice and clean. Not talking on the phone, non-disruptive behavior. Make sure, such unreasonable demands for attention or not complying with the instructor direction. This is a website you can check that discusses disruptive behavior, and that can happen. No profanity, obscenity, vulgarity. No talking unless the instructor asks you a question, because that's just being rude. Make sure you use the computers we have. Do not use printer. Well, you shouldn't really use printer in ePublishing class. That's kind of not a print class, right? You can check your iPads and use them there. Make sure you have your ID with you every class you come in. And make sure you completely log out before you leave, because sometimes things may be running in the background and you don't log out. I don't want you to lose your work or somebody else steal it, okay? Now, there will be times where there'll be an assignment and possibly a project that is specific, like the software is specific to Macintosh, and you may not have one at home. So arrange for Open Lab. Just check with Mr. Lee. He always posts things on a door on our website when there will be an Open Lab, so you can work on it. Expectations. I do expect you to be capable, motivated individuals. I'm not going to be with you in person, so I'm counting on you to do well. And don't be satisfied with anything less than a B. But it's up to you. You have to put the attention, motivation, and effort, right? So how much you put into it, maximum effort, that's maximum grade, and it shows. And people who do maximum effort do win awards and do well. Now, obviously, there's sometimes things happen. There's extra credit opportunity. And one of the extra credits that I like is being part, like a family of Graphic Communication Education Association at U of H, a student group. If you haven't mentioned them, hopefully there'll be some officers talk to you here. And you can by coming to meetings. They have a specific point system now. You have to ask them first meeting. you can get points. You need at least 3 points to get, get 3 points to your final grade, which can make a difference. And they do have a website. I put it on here, but I think I have it opened somewhere here. There it is. Look how pretty that website is. Yes, very interactive. GCAUH.com tells you about joining GCA, meeting officers, events, and so you can actually follow and find out. That's on social media. And that's social media. So know when they're coming. I want you to get points. Makes a difference, doesn't it? Now, if you're an officer, and by the way, they will be looking for officers. Something to think in the future. You get 5 points for just being an officer, all right? And doing things. Don't just think like, oh, I'm an officer, do nothing. No, you gotta do things. Honesty. Be honest. Obviously, sometimes you may be behind on writing your paper, or it's so easy to copy things, but things, our system gets checked for plagiarism work, and it's better get a 0 than being expelled from school, and it stays on your permanent record. So don't do anything foolish. Add drops refer to your wage catalog. Incompletes. So incompletes, really, it's if you maintain an acceptable level of achievement and cannot do some factors beyond your control, complete one or more major assignments. What happened there? So it has to be explained. It's just a lot of paperwork, and it's not something that's just given. If you need extra help under ADA guidelines, please talk to us, talk to your lab instructor. Let me know as well to see how we can accommodate you. Now, I know being a student and also managing stress, family, school, work, all kinds of stuff can be stressful, and sometimes you may feel sad or helpless. U of H can provide counseling psychological services. They do have locations, Sugar Land, main campus, online. If you really need to talk to somebody, there's no shame. Please arrange for that. I want you to be well. So that is it on a syllabus, I think. I know, we got through it. But let's look at the schedule. Here is the course schedule for the semester. You can see that starting, you have assignment 1A. Again, whatever is assigned on the lab date, and since both of you have different lab dates, different lab, still be due on a Sunday right after it, unless otherwise specified. So we do not need the second week, no lab, Monday or Wednesday, FYI. And that just kind of gives you the information on things in a lecture, and the kind of teal color will be more in the lab, what's going to happen. And you can see how the assignments are distributed. It gives you information when each assignment will be assigned, and the date will be based on your lab. You can see you're going to have 7 assignments, but some of them are kind of divided to 1 and 2. And they are due on Sunday after they're assigned, unless otherwise specified. However, projects and exams and literature review, we did put specific dates, even times for the projects and for the literature review. So make sure you create a calendar, maybe on your phone, when you put all the due dates in, so you don't miss anything. I know that was a lot we covered, and it's not the most exciting, but I really wish you a great semester. I hope you enjoy this class as much as I have enjoyed creating it and teaching it for many years. And please be good to Francis, as he is taking over my lab, and also to Ken Lee for his major support. So I wish you all the best semester. Thank you.